to do that because they didn't have that technology at that time. These are pre-done from the print screen shop. Once it's done, that's it, you can't alter it. That was their limitation. And these are pretty much all over the USA. It's not just any retail store, Walmart, Target. You go to any of those stores, it's pretty much the same. But these things are dying out because they all have the same thing. And as we humans, we like to have unique, one-of-a-kind things, one-of-a special item that makes me special because I'm the only one that has it. You guys don't have it. That's how we are, kind of humans are. This is we took the best of the technology of past, screen printing, transfers, ink dyes. We studied each of those business aspects. And we arrived to what we call today digital printing, DTG. It's like a paper print machine, only you put, instead of paper, you put T-shirt in it. Cool concept. When I met Raymond was using outside source. And I asked him, if you give outside source, our positive income will just go there, we give less to our customers, our members. Let's change that around. So I studied some of these aspects and this background and offered to Raymond and said, why don't we buy the machines? Why don't we own our products? Make our own customized stuff that what customer demands it, and let them have what they want and be happy with it. And that's when I researched and brought some of the ideas to him. Digital printing, when we started, it was somewhere 10% in the market. 10% entire world market is 10%. Majority was screen printing still. Digital printing was just coming out of that stage at that time. So we said, this is a great opportunity. It's a niche where we can hit early and work it hard and make it fame. And now we look at that percentage, it's now at 20%. Within 2 years, we jumped that much already in competition. They already replaced our machines with newer technologies from a variety of different countries already. Some are better, some are lousy, so and so, but it doesn't matter what the equipment of the machine is, the person behind it. I learned that personal experience because I'm a production manager who will test these products and figure out how they work. What they were trading is not exactly what they said, As I test this product, see, how I could improve, how I could save more money, how we could attract customers to our products more, I can see a lot of potential in digital products in the future. Digital product will guarantee your personal design, whatever you want to fit. As long as it's your own design. Right now, copyright is one of the big issues combating every business aspect. But that still gives you a lot of room to create your own ideas and marketing strategy. It doesn't even have to be a picture. It could be just words, text messages. I work at home. It's a very powerful attraction word. People like to work at home, just don't know how. That's the issue. If you know the how, you could advertise that T-shirt and recruit that person. T-shirt is an advertising space area. This is why we got into the T-shirt business and DTG product, because we could type whatever you want to message out, we could print it, and we could send you one T-shirt if you want it. Or you could send you 10 T-shirts if you want it, 100 shirts if you want it. We're that unique. Screen printer cannot do that. They do a book only because of all the accessory they have to spend the money on. One design, they have to make memory cards of it, of different colors, and they have to storage it, and they charge you for that. Each screen, they charge you for that. Each color, they'll charge you for that. That is the problem with the screen printing, and we want to outsource that problem. This is why we got into DTG problem. Because we can print one T-shirt, and we don't need no screens. It's all digitized and put in a memory disk of the computer technology. And we can take this computer anywhere we want to. We can send it an email. Thank God for emails. This is the stage of technology combined with digital printing will entrepreneur the business in the future. Like I said, when we started 2 years ago, it was less than 10%. Now it's past 20%, and it's still growing. But even though it's growing, we're still unique. We pay our customers, we pay our members. None of them do that. They have to work for it, they have to get the product, and they have to physically sell it. We could do that too, but yet you don't have to. We can put it on our site and let the site work for you. You just gotta know how to do it. That's why you gotta come to the HBT, home training business, conference, go to one-on-one training. We offer you a variety of training services on our website. Take advantage of it. Not that everything is free. They're there for a reason. They cost little, but it costs less than way other business. I joined some of the multi-level business so many times that I spent almost $5,000 to $10,000 and get nowhere, get no result. It's too complicated, less teaching. We're not like that. We try our best. I mean, right now our staff is minimum. But as time will go, we'll grow and we'll provide you with training. And we will do one-on-one training until you understand the business and aspect of how it works for you. There's 7 different ways you get paid and 7 different functions. One will fit to your category. If not, you take all the categories if you want to make money quick. But this is how it is. This is our teaching product. As you can see, print paper, I print paper, and T-shirt.
That overlap.
So this is how it is. This is our machine at our home base. This is our training at California, but this is we have purchased this machine and it prints.
Now I remember.
White T-shirt printing, it'll take no more than 2 minutes just to print. Color one, less than 5 minutes. One T-shirt. Once 5 minutes pass, you put it on, ready to go. That's how it is. Screen printing, it'll take roughly 2 hours because once it's going through the color stage, then you have to go to drying and you have to be home for at least a couple hours to half days, depending on how much ink it is. Color process, digital print. It's just like when you pick print. All color of one kind of white T-shirt. Now if it's colored dark T-shirt, you'll require white ink. And that's why it takes a little longer process. You'll go all the white ink, then on top of it, you'll go color on it. That's how digital printing is. Some companies can't do that. We start research the best alternative all way, every way possible, and this is the best way. T-shirt is not the only thing we print here. I just tested to do canvas art frame. So if you notice, you have art, hanging up, the canvas art. Guess what? We print that now. You have an art painting, you want to transfer on the canvas, take a photo of it, send it to us, transfer on it. This machine has so many things you could do. It's just your imagination and how to manage to figure it out. But technology is wonderful. Right now, as more and more time goes, with a better machine, better technology, we will give you a variety of products. Right now, we have T-shirts, jackets, mugs, hats, working on the shoes in the future, running shoes. That's cool. Working on the pants, even socks, we could do socks. There's no limitation. We could do a variety of things. I could do mouse pads.
Burlap? Burlap?
Yeah.
You do burlap?
We could do that. It's just product I haven't fully tested yet. I want to make sure the color and is vivid and make sure it stays on for a long time. And it takes time to test these products. But opportunity, any product you see out there, we can manage that. We purchase the machine and duplicate it. Thing is, stay with us, with Gatosk. We will provide all this product to you so you can market yourself and make earnings. A lot of the business does not do that for you. They just give you the product, they take your profit. You're on your own kind of thing. Some people who knows how to sell. Most people don't know. But we try to do that all that for you. Made a web page where you can just simply sell it, make it easy as possible. You just have to learn it. Now, next thing is, what's that DTG got to do with POD? P-O-D. And Raymond will explain you what POD is. Thank you. Oh, question.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, I have a question here in the audience. Would you like me to stand up? Or, you know what, the interpreter will back translate my question. Now, let me ask you. You said it takes about 5 minutes to print a t-shirt with color. Now, as the company continues to grow, let's say that there's an order of 1,000, 2,000 t-shirts per day. Are you going to be investing in another printer so that you can be a little bit more efficient?
Good question. Right now, this one machine capacity is, this machine could print capacity 40 per hour. Is it? No.
Well, this is Raymond here. So with one worker, it would be 40 t-shirts a day. If we had 2 employees, we could do about 80 t-shirts per day per machine.
Because they're pre-layers, treatment that do it, writing things, but we could do somewhere 80s per day. Now, if, like you said, if more demanding, then we will add more machine to it and become a production company. Then we will call pick up warehouse.
Terrific, thank you.
Any more questions? What do you want? Thank you.
Awesome. Well, this is Raymond here. Thank you very much, Day. Can we get a round of applause for Day? So Day had mentioned the option of printing on a canvas. Here's what that looks like right here. So here we have a canvas with an image printed on it. And it's a canvas, a natural fiber cotton canvas. And that's actually going to be one of the items included in the raffle. So we're going to have all of our employees put their signatures on here, and then you guys can take that home, whoever is lucky enough to win it. So we talked about the DTG machines. Those machines can print pretty much on anything. Anything that is a natural fiber surface. So it can be a hard surface or a soft surface. It can even print on glass. Because glass is a natural occurring surface, it's sand. So it's made from sand, and so it's still considered natural. And so you can print on glass. And you could even make like what looks to be like stained glass. You can print on ceramic. Ultimately, it really depends on the physical shape of the item that you want to print on. So if it is a uniquely shaped item, we might have to use a special machine for that. But you need a flat surface, and if it's a flat surface, then we can definitely print it. So we talked about print on demand, POD, and how that's directly tied with DTG, direct to garment. And so if there wasn't direct to garment, then you wouldn't have print on demand. And so now that we have that, you can print one t-shirt in a few minutes, and if you've got a line of people that want to order items, you could say, hey, come back in an hour and pick up your t-shirt. We did an event at Gallaudet Homecoming recently, and we wanted to see if we could have a turnaround time of an hour, and it worked. One of the new challenges that we learned through that experience, though, in doing a 1 hour printing, if that's the direction that we want to travel in the future, that's an option that we could do. We could even offer this as a franchise option where you have storefronts and customers come in, They place their order at the point of sale, the POS, and they place an order with an individual, and then we can send it back to our matrix, and then they can print it onto the t-shirt. So at the event, the Gallaudet Homecoming that I mentioned, we did a print-on-demand kiosk, and it was beautiful weather outside, but it was hard to do because we realized that printing indoors delivers the best product, because when you're outside, you have the natural elements such as the wind, and that can affect the quality of the product. And we noticed that there were some difficulties with that. So we learned from that experience. If you were to do a 1-hour printing option, you would have to do it at an indoor event. The outdoor events, probably not the best place for that. You could maybe even send it to a mobile van that you have stationed at the event and have it printed inside, and then have an outdoor kiosk where you receive the orders and email it over to the printing station. So that's an option that you could do, and they could pick it up at the event. That's another workaround that we thought of. So let me look here, make sure I covered everything. Yeah, so if you take a second to read that, it's pretty much self-explanatory and explains what print on demand is. So why pod? Let's look at this video here. Print on demand. Just as a heads up, we do have some voiceover for this video, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the YouTube link.
POD stands for Print on Demand. So how does POD work? Well, let me explain. POD is a process that allows the production of custom decorated apparel. For example, a shirt with a design logo on the front. All orders require no minimum quantities. A garment gets printed only when someone places an order. Then the order is fulfilled, starting with printing and ending with shipping. POD is convenient for customers who want to order any number of printed garments at any time. A customer can order one item at a time or as many as they want. The process is very simple. Through our web store, www.gatosk.com, people may customize different kinds of apparel, such as t-shirts and toddler and infant wear. They may either create their own design from pictures, or they can also choose from our wide variety of designs that we provide. POD is a growing industry thanks to major advances in the printing method we use, direct-to-garment, DTG printing. DTG printing is newer than traditional screen printing. Screen printing involves creating a stencil, known as a screen, and then using that screen to apply ink on the garment. Now, because of the time and cost involved, most screen printing companies require minimum quantities. The more shirts printed, the less it costs per shirt. So, to recap, why do we use DTG printing? Because it allows you to order any number of printed garments at any time. It can be 1, 2, or more. For example, you may need to purchase a last-minute gift and you want to place an order now. You can do that with us. With DTG printing, a special type of printer directly prints the ink onto a garment in the desired design. It takes 7 to 14 business days to fulfill your order. This evolving technology enables us to print a single garment while eliminating the setup costs, screens, and color layer separation required for screen printing. It works much like a traditional inkjet computer printer, but for apparel, and produces high-quality results. There is no hassle.
So pod is a growing industry, just like Jay had gotten into earlier, or explained earlier. And I'll explain to you how our niche is different than that of our competitors. So here are some of our competitors listed on the slide here. Custom Ink is a well-established company. Their headquarters in Virginia, not far from here. It's about an hour drive from here. And Custom Ink wasn't founded in Virginia by accident. Actually, just adjacent, there's a large distributor, a large warehouse that's located right next to Custom Ink. So when people place an order through Custom Ink, they don't actually worry about shipping. They walk over to this warehouse and they pick up their order so they can fulfill that to the customer. And so Custom Ink, one of our biggest competitors, we've really been working hard on how we can beat their pricing. And we've been able to beat their pricing by $1 or $2. From 1 t-shirt, 10 t-shirts, 100 t-shirts, we've tried to work on that. But when you get to 100 t-shirts, they have a little bit better pricing than us, not by much. There's some other good t-shirt printing companies here. And I will talk later about what are the things that we offer and what are the things that they offer and how does that compare. So our pod niche, we have very competitive pricing. You can monetize your artwork. So the artwork that you've had on your computer, these beautiful images, you can upload those to our store and you can let us do the heavy lifting for you. So that's what it means when I say monetize your graphics. And for those marketers, you can get paid for marketing our products and selling our services, and you can earn good money through our compensation plan. You're also able to duplicate those methods with your team and get a leveraged income. And so that's an attractive feature. We also have a unique brand compared to others. So we have a metal ring, and I'll talk about that in depth later. And we are going to be launching a new app of our own. And you guys will be the first people to bear witness to that, to actually use our app before we launch it to the public. And so that's something we'll share with you this weekend. Now, before I continue, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we don't offer in comparison to our competitors. So let's say, for instance, you would like to customize a t-shirt, and you go to a company, let's pick Custom Ink as an example, and you go to Custom Ink and they say, hey, I think they call it a design lab. So you would go into their design lab. Let's open up the website so you can see what that looks like. So here's Custom Ink. Let's say, for instance, we want to order a t-shirt, and we want to make this t-shirt here. We're going to be going to the design lab right there. Sorry, that moving image kind of scared me. So. Here we go. Here's the t-shirt that we're going to print on. Now with our site, it requires 4 clicks. So you're going to have to click 4 times before you get to this stage. So that's one of our weaknesses that we have, and we're currently working on that. Our goal is to be just like Custom Ink. You click it once, and here you are at the design process. So let's say you want to make some changes. You're able to make changes. Look, you can change the color of the item here. So that's one of the things that Custom Ink offers. That we're not quite there yet. And so less of those clicks means more sales, more revenue. And so we're working on getting to that point. So here's our brand. image that I want to share with you guys. We've got a metal ring here, and you are able to insert any image inside of that metal ring. Now, a lot of our customers say, hey, I see this ring you got here. Do you mind if I can use that ring in my image? Sure. You can use this ring around their image, but even when we shared those files to our customers, they're not graphic artists, so it was hard for them to insert that ring on top of the design. So right here on the right side of the image, that's what their desired goal was. And so if you've got a bunch of different images, how do you go about fitting that inside of that ring? Let's say you've got a family picture and you want to fit like 5 or 6 people and shrink it down to the size of that ring. And especially when you have a square image, you might miss a lot of that image, and it's difficult for customers to sync the dimensions. And so we've worked on that process, and here's some of the examples that we have here. We have one huge advantage with this metal ring, and I'm going to share this with you. Let's say that we've got a t-shirt that's black. What if you want to place an order of different colored t-shirts, and you've got a design here, and you've got to figure out how does that fit with the color of the t-shirt and the background? With that ring here, you get rid of that. You can print on any color t-shirt with that ring. That metal ring, it goes well with any color t-shirt. You could try it at home. So, yellow, black, whatever background image you have, or background color, it's going to look great with that ring. So here's our vision here. And this new tool, this tool makes it easy for you to resize your image inside that ring. You can also change the texture of the ring, the color of the ring. And so this is the vision that we have. And how do we marry that to the current reality? And that's not very easy. Now, the best software to insert an image into this metal ring would be Photoshop. Now, Photoshop is not cheap, and it costs money. And there's a long, difficult, and steep learning curve to use Photoshop. You've got to know how to use Photoshop in order to edit these images, and that was one of the biggest areas. We had to come up with a software that was easy for the everyday person to use, and that's when we decided to create an app. And I think that this app at this point is ready for the beta testing phase. And you guys are going to be our beta testers. Are you excited about that? By tonight, you are going to be able to download this app onto your devices and to play around with it. There's only one little asterisk that I've got to attach to this, is the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. We'll ask you to sign that, and the reason why is we realized a long time ago that apps and intellectual software are easily stolen by some of those big players out there. You've got a unique idea, and I really looked into it, and I know for a fact that there is no app out there that has the same functionality as the product that we're offering today. And so one of the challenges, and I place that challenge on the table. So if you find a competitor who offers something comparable, tell me, and I'll eat my words.
Service packages are optional monthly subscriptions that include.
And so we'll be setting out a non-disclosure agreement, and if you sign it, you can download the app. One moment, it looks like the interpreters are telling me that there's a video
web shoppers
playing in the background.
Advertisers can go to our websites anytime they want to shop or advertise on our high.
Perfect. Yes. So as I was talking about the app, whoever signs the non-disclosure agreement, I will send you a link and you can download this app, and I just ask that you don't share that with anybody else. We're actually in the process of patenting this app. And we will search and screen out all to make sure that there's no comparable ideas, and then we'll be launching that after this conference. And we'll be updating you guys through email, and I'll let you know when that becomes available to the public. And when it does, please tell everybody that you know. Okay? So, Grope, G-R-O-P, that's a unique name. Grop, excuse me. And I got that idea from a discussion with my girlfriend. Now, grop is kind of a play off the word crop. So when you crop an image, or even a play off of the word drop. So you could drop in an image into that ring. So that's why I call it grop. So here's what the app looks like. Oh, look, we've got a user walking through the audience, holding up their phone. Yes. And for those in the back that's got a camera. So. Now, don't get me wrong. There are apps out there where you can insert an image inside of a frame. So absolutely, there are apps that provide that. But none of them are able to take a real-time photo with the frame there, real time. So I've got my camera set up here, I've got a real-time shot. And this is much more efficient because, like for instance, right now, if I wanted to get an image of you guys in the audience, click, it's done. And it's inserted into that image. I'm able to share it on Facebook. I can download it onto my phone. I can email it. I can place an order through the store. And you're also able to edit the textures of the ring right here. Or if you wanted to change the style. So there are a lot of different options that you can play with on the right here. See, right here I've got the oval shape up on my phone. This is one of my favorites personally, that oval. So with just one click, it's done. Now I'm able to edit it a little bit more. So if you wanted to change the color, they've got black and white. They've got a sepia. And then you can share it. With just a couple clicks, it gives you the option to share it on Facebook, or you can place an order through our storefront. When you download this app, I want you guys to play with it. Give me that feedback. You know, I know that it's got some bugs and some glitches, and so I wouldn't be so surprised if some of those bugs that you discover are things that we already know about because we've been actively working on it. For instance, and we have a few phases that we're going through. Like, when we looked at the camera, I realized we weren't able to do a self-facing camera, and so I had to go back to the developer and say, hey, here are some of the features that we just completely missed out on. So we're working on that. And hey, these are changes that I've got to pay for. So that will be released into the next phase. Real-time video. Instead of doing a still video or a still image, if you wanted to do a video, that's an option that we'd like to add. And so there are some changes that are going to be happening in the next phases. But give me all the feedback that you have, and then we can see how that fits into our future. It looks like there's a question. Yeah. Please do not be sharing this on Facebook. Even though technically you can share these images on Facebook, we just ask that you hold off on that functionality. just play around with the app itself and you save it onto your phone, because when you click share on Facebook, it will, then you'll have other customers downloading it. We're not ready for that. The patenting process, when we have our patent, you can share it on Facebook. And so,
It's going to take about 1 week or 2 weeks to process. We still have a long ways to go. It is coming up soon. It'll be within the next month or so. I will let you know. We'll give you the green light. But for now, you're the beta testers, so play around with it and test it. Sorry, this is very loud. I apologize. So please feel free to send me as much feedback as possible. Okay, and there's a question in the audience. Now, once the patent has been received, then the app goes live. Now, our other friends in our networks. Now, is the 1.5 going to be able to come up in correlation with this app? And that's a great question. Now, this is not cheap, understand. This is about $11,000 just for this app alone. So the vision is to be able to have a one-click option to immediately direct you to the 1.5 grid. Now, in terms of navigating to that point, let me explain. So if you wanted to order a shirt, let's say, here's the option here for Gatosk. So you click on the icon for Gatosk, and that will redirect you to our website. Once you're redirected, you will then be able to save your image on your phone. It will redirect to the website, and you'll then be able to order. And then it will populate in your 1.5 grid. Now, for those of you, now this question that was posed by this gentleman, now this is exactly right. So when an individual, basically he's asking, under all of you folks, this is actually an excellent question. When you click and you're redirected, it will actually take you out of this app. It will check you out and it will ask for a tracking code. Now this tracking code, if you're going to introduce a friend or somebody to this product, you're going to need to populate with the tracking code. And it's just going to be a 3-character code that you'll be able to plug in, and then it will connect you there. So that right now the links are not connected, but we want to be able to have the bragging rights for this option in the future. So once we get to that point, we will definitely let you know. And this will be in phase 2. Now this app it's a built-in system, basically. It's a built-in app with the system. So, but the cost is astronomical right now. So we will get there eventually, but that is an excellent question. So hold on one moment, if I could add to the clicking option before I forget. And actually, if you want to go ahead with your question. So that means if someone loans, if they were to loan the app per se, and would they share the profit? So if you could repeat the question. If another customer added the app, they downloaded the app on their phone, but they are not part of your business, and they click into this app and it connects to you, okay, it will link back to me. So now in the phase 2, so I'm explaining about the app, downloading it, and making sure that when you actually order a shirt, that my tracking code, again, the tracking code is essential. And again, we're still talking about phase 1. And again, I want to emphasize the tracking code and its importance. If there's no tracking code, right, it will not ask, they won't ask you for that, that's right. However, okay, so I can't wait for phase 2 actually because of these reasons. So there's another question from the audience. Now the app will be for both iPhones, iOS, as well as Android. it will be applicable for both. However, unfortunately, the beta testers, that's all of you folks, it's for iOS. So you need to have iOS. Unfortunately, right now for Android, I'll actually have to ask how soon it will be compatible for Android. So we are encouraging to move into that direction, but for now it's iOS for the beta testers. Now the images, another question from the audience, the images, if you're, let's say you're on a trip and you're traveling and you're taking pictures and you want to give a t-shirt as a gift to show as a souvenir from your travels. Are they able to take a pic, send it to you, and then create a t-shirt? And I'm saying absolutely. Okay, then that again, that's in phase 2. So, again, when you save the image, it gets redirected to our website. Then you'll be able to click the link to create the t-shirt. So it'll just be right on your phone in this app. You won't even have to go to your desktop or computer. So it'd be, that's wonderful because that'll be much better than buying a physical souvenir and packing it up and wrapping it up and giving it to someone. So this is a great idea for that. Another question from the audience. So you do not need a computer to use this capability. That's correct. This is a mobile app. That is correct. So when will the patent be ready? It shouldn't be long. Just a few months. Less than a few months, actually. And actually, I would say it's going to be lunchtime soon. So now the patent idea. Now we're in terms of talking about the framing, the image in the frame, and the metal ring. Zazzle, they also offer the same insertion of image into the frame idea, but our metal ring is moving along, it's moving strong. Their product is it's a little flimsy. Well, it's a similar idea, but we are very optimistic about this specific app, and that this is patentable, and we are very optimistic. It is not guaranteed, I want to emphasize that, but we are very optimistic about that. So thank you so much for your questions and comments. Now the raffle, did all your folks get your tickets with your registration badge? You should have received a raffle ticket. And we have a lot of fantastic prizes for the raffle. If you win the raffle, there is a ticket for next year's conference, one of the prizes. You could also win a drone for your car. A car drone, rather, that will drive a remote-controlled landing airdrome. And then also a signed canvas art piece signed by all the employees of Gatosk of 2017. You can also win a scarf. I think it's an infinity